Now, highlighting Oando's partnership with Afreximbank in driving energy infrastructure and sustainable industrialization across Africa, featuring the inspiring journey of Obiageli Obiokeke, lead production engineer at Oando, as she navigates a male-dominated industry.
We have tremendous amount of resources, but Africa needs local champions.
To be an African company creating such impact, it's very rewarding.
We want to empower visionaries who believe in the continent.
Energy is a bedrock of quality of life in Africa.
Without access to power, how can we talk about industrialization? How can we talk about export manufacturing?
The time has come for indigenous companies to take over the operations in Nigeria.
My name is Obiokeke. I'm the maintenance manager for Oando Energy Resources Nigeria Limited. We're here in Port Harcourt. This is where all the administrative work is done. I do have 5 teams under me, which is largely maintaining all of the equipment that we use here. So the question comes back to us in operations to say, are we ready to receive this capacity?
Yes, we plan to do upgrades to ensure that
when I started out my career, we were very little number of women in the company or even in the space.
B and C.
16 years later, we do have quite a number of women who are in the industry doing great things. Every now and then we have to go into the field, do inspections, and most importantly to meet with the people, because we do have, of course, another maintenance and operations team.
With the 2 pumps, we are good to go.
Today in Africa, almost 600 million people do not have access to power. The projects that we have ongoing would meet about 15% of the demand of the Nigerian population, which is about 200 million plus. So just being part of that system is very important and it's very rewarding. Yellow, okay. A partnership with Afrexim has been a very big enabler to the success of Oando's story today.
Oando started working with Afreximbank more than a decade ago. It was a commonality of purpose and vision. At Afreximbank, we empower our own people and keep the wealth on the continent for our own people. And that's what Oando is doing. Seeing how this journey started like 10 years ago where you guys are today, I see the passion and the direction that your leadership is providing, and that's the kind of partners we are looking for in Afrexim to ensure that we can find local partners who are looking not just at today, but tomorrow, and how to basically consolidate their stakes. So
I think the partnership is actually very in sync. Afrexim has just been there at the center of things.
Afrexim has become a dominant player in supporting indigenous companies who are geared towards contributing directly into the local economy, which is what Oando is about. We're about using indigenous institutions, indigenous staff, indigenous subcontractors. We would not have been able to grow 50% of the size we've done if Afrexim didn't exist.
Oando is more than just an oil and gas company. About 3 years ago, Oando created Oando Clean Energy, which has successfully piloted the electric buses in Lagos. We partnered with the Lagos state government. We're very particular about impacting the lives of the community where our installations are. So we do give free power to the community. And we have an arm, the Oando Foundation, where we do have the Adopt a School program.
As an indigenous organization, it's critical for us that we not only build the manpower for today, but also prepare the workforce for the future. What we're doing consciously as a foundation first is providing access to opportunity, but more importantly, emphasizing the role of mentorship.
Personally, I have enjoyed the benefits of mentorship. I have seen a lot of my mentees, move on to bigger things, and that's very satisfying. You've joined the department, and it's been great having you, but I want to hear from you. How's your experience been?
As a young engineer like me, you see a lot of growth opportunity, a lot of things to learn. For me, there's no better time to be at Oando.
Having people who have been down that road before you and just provide some sort of guidance, it just makes you a lot more confident that you're making the right decision.
If you remember, when I first met with you, I said to you, take an active role.
Yeah,
go out there, go into the field, see the world. You've been quite a champion and a bit of a legend in the company. So what we need to do is use you to encourage other females to do it.
To be an indigenous company creating such impact in Nigeria and in Africa is something that is actually tremendous. And being part of that system, is very impactful.
It's important for us as Afreximbank to continue to champion this objective and ensure that the wealth of the continent stays on the continent.